Hello, I'm Sudarshan, the Starshine Star. I hope this beautiful September, Friday the 13th, 2024, is finding you very, very well indeed. All my life, Friday the 13th has been one of my favorite days. I've always considered it very lucky, very fortunate, and very wonderful. And there's just been some bad talk about that day, which is untrue. So enjoy it and love it and live it. And every Friday is also Mahalakshmi Day, a beautiful aspect of Mother Divine that is so gorgeous, so stunning, so wonderful, so blessing, and she supports us with the 200% life. That means 100% success in the spiritual and 100% success in the material. I like to begin all of my clips with the 3 opening prayers. They're to bless and protect, uplift and inspire you, me, and this clip. They're in Sanskrit and Telugu, and they're short. It's the Guru Mantra, the Ganesha Mantra, and the Gayatri Mantra. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahmam Tasmahi Sri Guruve Namaha. Om Suklam Bharataram Vishnu Sashivarnam Chatobhujam Prasanavaranam Dhyaye Sarva Vigno Prashantaye. Om Bhurbhuva Suvaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhago Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Wonderful. Well, I have something brief to read to all of you today. Excuse me. Oh, I have to take a sip of my beverage. I have something brief to read to all of you today. And maybe I'm a little choked up because I was just thinking, I just heard just a bit ago today, part of a beautiful song that this lyric that this wonderful artist was singing was asking, can you see the real me? And like all amazing artists, they make the personal cosmic and universal, and the cosmic and universal they make personal. So while it was a very deeply touching, heart-squeezing, beautiful song, it was hitting all the layers, and it made me think of the truth that that's one of the most touching questions that not only humans, but I think all species and all beings that are sentient really want to know or to experience is, can they really be perceived? Can really what they are really be perceived? And in that perception of the totality of what each being is, can all of the parts be loved? Love without condition. Loved without I love you if. Love without I love you when. Love without I love you only. And even though a lot of people, you can get romantic and silly about saying, I love you how, and counting off the ways how much you love your honey, or it doesn't have to be romantic. It can be family members. It can be your beautiful children, your beautiful parents, relatives, dear friends, and comrades and colleagues, and spiritual family. It can be your beautiful pets. It can be wild animals that you just see as you're in nature and that you love so much. It can be God. It can be you in meditation and prayer, or in the deep silence, just honoring and blessing and communing with your Creator, with your Mother, Father, God. And not to leave it last, it's definitely not least, it can be yourself, you. Even though in this reality we only see ourselves through reflection, we either use mirrors or see ourselves in the eyes of others, But it's actually possible when you are at a certain level of consciousness and accessing certain dimensions or frequencies, you can actually, in the astral, see yourself, actually be presented with yourself and look into your own eyes. And you can also do this in visions, in meditation. It's very, very, very possible and not rare at all. And it's a very touching moment when you can see yourself not in a mirror, but standing, I would say nose to nose, eyes to eyes looking at yourself. And I think you would be very, very stunned and surprised to see how completely beautiful and glorious you are, how completely handsome and glorious you are. It's fantastic. What I want to read, because it's just been something in my archives for a long time, and I just thought, I just want to put this on my social media, because we are, as we're hitting the fall here of this momentous year, we will be wrapping up a large part of the big movie that's been going on, the cleanup movie that's been going on underneath the Second American Revolution and World War IV, underneath the war for the consciousness and the souls of all beings, the war, dark versus light, a digital war, a territorial war, a corporeal bloody war in many parts of the earth realm. And it is just very touching to be what I really feel on this Friday the 13th to share, and what I felt when I awoke this morning is what a beautiful opportunity to use today to maybe communicate to someone that you haven't spoken with for a long time, however you feel to do that. If you have anything to say that would be, I know I'm going to take this in kind of a more solemn U-turn, and I didn't count on doing that, but I always use the angel of death for the best and the highest, and I always visualize, and I have seen death, and I have seen what it looks like, the actual death, and I don't mean just the death of a person, but there's actually something that death looks like, and I've seen it, and it's nothing to be afraid of. But like when the angel of death would come, I would say form a hand to place in your hand and ask, okay, it's time to go, time to leave this brief life. You're going on to your next consciousness experience, and then your next life. In that split second of what we call a moment, you can remember so much. And how often do we as humans, and I would say as other forms of beings as well in the universes and the galaxies, do you have that split second moment of like a quick life review of things that you're like, oh gosh, I really wanted to say this and now I won't get a chance to? Or you have this feeling of regret, like I wish I had asked someone to forgive me and I didn't do it. Or I wanted to, how many people or beings or animals or whatever, or God, that I wanted to say, I love you. And how much did I want to say to myself, I love you? And to feel that. So I used that moment this morning when I felt it after I got up, and I felt it very strongly. I thought of two people, and I rang them up. So I'm walking my talk. I'm not just giving out good ideas and being like a Mrs. Polly advice, advising all of you what to do and not following it for myself. I did that for myself today. And off that subject, because what I want to read does not have to do with that, but why I'm saying that is that we really are going in, there's so much good coming for all the beings on the earth realm, not for the evils and their minions, because if they haven't already, they face judgment. And for a lot of them, they did capital crimes, crimes against humanity, and also treasonous crimes, and those are capital crimes, and I think you know what that means. It means unaliving. But beyond that, beyond just the unaliving of any corporeal form or body, there is karma and there is judgment. Everything you do, action, reaction. So that's just the truth about it. And but that said, and no one's perfect. So I'm not saying, oh, there's only a few perfect humans. I just mean all of us, regular, whatever you want to call it, humans, that we try our best to be goodly and godly, and we make errors and mistakes and we fall down, but we really do have the intent to be a good person and to do the best we can do. And maybe that's even too much of a specific definition of a goodly and godly person, because just because someone is, ooh, can you hear that? I'm on an partial outside terrace, and just as I said that, someone revved up a motorcycle so loudly down the block, and I take that as a sign. That was like an underscoring, like if I took a red pen where I made skid marks in the road with a motorcycle, and I went, and I just underlined it. Yeah. So I'm going to repeat what I was saying. It's not that only goodly and godly, or from the definition I just gave a moment ago, beings, are doing their best and, are on their purpose and trying their best. Because even if people are asleep to what they are and they're making more than errors and mistakes, they're hurting themselves and hurting other people, I think we can all admit that's pretty much a part of being a human, isn't it? Until we really wake up and we really kind of shake ourselves more awake and have more conscious awareness of how we're living or how we're not living. Because so many people live as dead in life. They're really not really alive. They're just like envelopes of something. Their soul spark is very dimmed. And I'm not just talking about NPCs and all of that, which are real. I'm talking about actual humans that have just dimmed their soul spark and their consciousness to such a low level. But that doesn't mean that they're what I would call bad, or the evils or evils and their minions. That's a whole different category. It's just someone that just needs to wake up a little bit more, and everyone will. Doesn't matter what the time is, even if it's, millions of lifetimes for some of the evils and their minions. They have to recycle through so many things to learn lessons, but it will be done. So here's what I want to read, because in terms of, as we're leaving this, we've been under the boot has been on our neck, on humanity's neck for thousands of years by the satanic evils and their minions, the ones that termed that they had the right to rule over us. And there's so many categories, and I can't go into all of it because I don't have time on this clip. But on my YouTube channel, which is called It's the Dazzling of the Light, or you can just go to YouTube and type in at Sudarshana Starshine Star. I have over 100 clips there. It's pretty good. I think you'll enjoy it. Gosh, I'm getting so many confirmations. Now there's like a military helicopter. Can y'all hear that? It's going like right by me. Okay. Thank you, military helicopter. Anyway, my YouTube channel, It's the Dazzling of the Light at Sudarshana Starshine Star, has so many clips on there, and I think you'll really like it. So on there, I have a series called The Controllers, and I don't have things on playlists, so just scroll down and you'll see, because I labeled each one. I think I got up to part 5, or maybe there's a part 6. I think the last series of The Controllers I did was labeled part 5. But that whole series talks about who the evils are, who the controllers are, where they came from, like that. And it's pretty good knowledge to have. So what I want to read to you is showing, well, when I read it, you'll know why I'm reading it based on what I just said. This is from Danielle. This is a woman from the Netherlands. Danielle, and I cannot pronounce this last name, so I'm going to spell it. STOTIJN from Telegram. This is her talking, and I think this is actual quote from her book called The Path to Awakening, and I haven't read that book, but I would like to read it. So this is just a direct quote from her in that book. And I think she's said that her book, The Path to Awakening, is on Amazon. So I'm not giving it a full thumbs up because I haven't read it, but I'm going to try it, and I think it will be a good gamble. I think it will be pretty good. Okay, here's what she's saying. Dismantling the matrix. Our energy network has been hacked. Our human divine Wi-Fi has gone down. Our divine higher purpose has been reduced to that of a slave, our holy love abused and sold to the devil. See how the mind of humanity is trapped in an illusion of fear, as the Vatican had reincarnation removed from the Bible and God separated from our soul and spirit. The institution of the church was misused to deploy a scarcity-based belief system as a means of subjecting man to the power of church, nobility, and royalty. Evil darkness created death in the minds of man and made them believe that they are mortal and sinful. This is why mastery of ourselves has been a challenge for many generations before us. Trapped in survival mode, we experience only a linear reality of the externally driven ego to achieve recognition and survival. Centuries of generational pain has been projected and passed through generations because of the belief in fear, death, causing the devastating lack of self-esteem, the denunciation of spirituality, and the pillory on which women were hanged. The mastery of our own higher self and the ascension of humanity was stopped. Trapped in the 3D matrix, we were concealed. I'm not reading that correctly. Trapped in the 3D matrix, where, I guess this is a misprint, but it's like where what was concealed was the truth about the infinity of the soul of man and its evocative creative power in conjunction with the laws of the universe behind a veil of ignorance and amnesia. But because so many old souls, you and I, have returned to the planet over the past few decades to awaken consciousness, we now stand strong in the light, taking back the authority of our own energy field and connection with the universal energy and the earthly ley lines to vibrate as high as possible. Stand in your own truth, let go of all programming. This will unlock your individuality and unlock us collectively from the matrix. The dark is falling. The earth is being returned to the divine light of humanity. How do you dismantle the matrix? Think of the ley lines of the earth grid. In ancient times such as Lemurian and Egyptian, these grids were used to create healing magnetic fields of healing and altering of consciousness through temples that were situated on power places all over the earth. Ancient technologies that were then widely known were used in conjunction with astrology and numerology under the universal laws. Stonehenge, Machu Picchu, and all other earth chakras are still there, but we have forgotten how to use them. The ley lines were hacked centuries ago through the dark elite who, through the Catholic churches, palaces, and government buildings, took the knowledge of the Templars and Freemasonry for incorrect purposes. Mason technology was once used to raise the frequency of the earth grid through the ley lines, air, light, and water, to grant health and harmony in the collective and individual field of communities, and the people in that area came under the force of evil, and it was used to instead to lower the frequency. This technology was misused to create the 3D matrix. With building on the ley lines and later satellites in the sky, a low-frequency field was created, a field that interferes and affects the human field associated with it, a vibrational field that holds you in the loop of reincarnation in fear, shame, guilt, and pain, dependent on external systems such as religion, government, education, pharmaceuticals, and entertainment. The same systems that fed you with the low vibration through doctrines, regulations, teachings, medicine, and information. Through mind, body, and spirit manipulation, we were prisoners in the illusion of living a free life. In the illusion of living a free life. Meek like sheep, living a 9-to-5 linear life. Unaware of our true, divine, highly evolved spiritual self. As we regain our earth grid clear the ley lines, and heal our own traumas of conditioning, our frequency will rise, and our connection to health and prosperity will increase. We can learn to transmute the density and ascend from dark to light. We can evolve as humans. And I say, Swaha, Danielle. Yes, so it shall be. That was beautiful. I also have a TikTok, which is called Mahakali Yeshua 9, and my username is @StarshineStar909. So whether you're there or you're on my YouTube channel, it's the Dazzling of the Light, or you're looking on my posts on X or Instagram, which I don't post very often on, but wherever you're looking, if you like this content, you can really help me out with the algorithms by taking the time to like it, to heart it, to share it, to hit the notification bell, to join, to subscribe to my YouTube channel, all of that. I really appreciate you doing that. Thank you so much. I'm going to close this with the closing prayer, and what I'm saying in Sanskrit and Telugu is God bless all beings in all worlds. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Yes, peace, peace, peace. God bless you and yours. I'm sending huge love and hugs to you and yours. And why not give yourself a big hug right now? And give other people some hugs too, and animals too. Let's have a hugging Friday the 13th. I will see you when I see you, and bye-bye for now.